Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to the Scottish Highlands and to what is essentially a little bit of an experiment. And it's an experiment because I haven't done this in 2024 yet, and also I knew it had been a while since I'd streamed anything, but it was actually, by the looks of it, October. The last time I did any streaming, and a few things have changed in my setup since then, but I'm hoping that, fingers crossed, it's all going to go to plan. But as I always say, if anything's going to go wrong, it always goes wrong on a live stream. Anyway, great to have you here. Thank you for joining. Just quickly having a look in the chat. Centurion, can't watch it yet. I'm in your neck of the woods, mate. Hope that by the time this is finished and you get to watch it, everything has gone okay. A certain amount of trepidation, I have to say. Romeo Kilo, hope you had a good week. I did have a good Christmas, thank you, mate. It's nice to see. It's nice to be streaming during the Christmas period. Work has gone a little crazy. Oh, we've got a hovering bonanza. That's going to be one of the issues with. That's going to be one of the issues with 2024 for a while, I think. But yeah, it's nice to be streaming. It's nice to be streaming away from the pressures of work as well. Work has got a little bit crazy recently, I have to say. I hope you had a good one as well. Robert, good to have you along. You know, it's funny. When I said Robert then, because I'm Rob as well, and the only person that ever used to call me, or the only people that ever called me Roberts, were my father and my grandmother when I was in trouble. So whenever I say Roberts, there's that sense of Roberts, leave it alone. Right, okay. So so just very quickly, we're in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I'm using the high performance group H145, not the H225. This is the H145. And their action pack as well. And also I'm using it with the fantastic davierosoft HEMS random and anywhere mod, which is free. That bit is free and you can get it from flightsim.to. I've done a couple of quick test runs with it, and everything seemed to be working really well. It's a really clever piece of kit. If you've not seen it before, hopefully you'll get to see some of it today. But there's so much. I keep saying that at some point I'm going to absolutely learn every single little detail of it and do some sort of a tutorial video, because I think it is incredibly clever, and it still boggles my mind that it's free, because there is so much detail in it. So we're using that. I'm making sure that I don't forget anything. So we're using that. We're also using the M. Gonzalez sound pack for the H145. Which has recently been updated for 2024, and we're also using Kicker's voice pack as well, which adds a bit of realism to the voices as well. But a lot of what you'll see, sometimes people comment on the videos, you know, I'm not getting the voices from the crew. That's probably because you haven't got the random and anywhere pack. You have to have a lot of that on there as well for all that to work. Oh, what else are we doing? Yeah, we're going to be using, and I'm just trying to make sure that I get the name right. It's Epic Fool's Scotland helipads. Now, I haven't tested this yet. It's a wonderful little thing that adds some realism to some of the helipads that we go to, especially if we have to go to Raigmore in Inverness. That will adds a bit of realism. Worked a treat in 2020. I've not tested it in 2024. It's not been updated on flightsim.to for 2024. So again, taking a bit of a risk, but damn it, that's what life's about, taking risks. And as I say, if it's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong on a live stream. Right, so where are we? Let me just get this set up and hopefully all my buttons work. There we go, it worked, a miracle. We're here. We are at FESHIEBRIDGE airfield, or it's really the home of the Cairngorm Flying Club. It's not somewhere realistically we were starting off from, but I wanted to start off in the mountains. and it's certainly a beautiful area to be in. And if you follow the channel, you know that I'm a big fan. But I thought rather than start at Inverness, I tried to get my UK 2000 Inverness to work with 2024, and no matter what I do, I can't seem to get it to work. I've loaded into my community folder, blah 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 blah. But if I go into the library in 2024, it says disabled, and I don't seem to have a way of enabling it. So I guess that's probably because I bought it through Marketplace, and Marketplace has therefore got full control of it and has disabled it. And I'm already realizing that I should have set up a button somewhere to disable the head moving around, because I've got my my new Virpil Collective, and I used to have a button on my Bravo to stop head tracking, but I haven't got that, so I need to maybe we'll do that on the fly once we get airborne. Anyway, quick look at the chat again. Guy, good to have you along, mate. I see. So yeah, I haven't got the links loaded into my community folder. That's why I'm seeing you as a bonanza mate. Romeo, I've tried the H225 and 24, and to be honest, it isn't working out for me. I'm going to buy the H1. Okay, yeah, I think the H225, and don't quote me because I don't read enough of the what's going on in the flight sim as I should do these days. The last I saw, the H225 isn't completely ready yet in the flight sim. HPG, High Performance Group, have got it all finished, all done and dusted, but for whatever reason, the full integration in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 isn't quite there yet, which is why some things don't work. In the H145, touch wood, and damn it, this is it. I've completely jinxed the whole thing. Things seem to be working. The higher functions of the autopilot, all that sort of thing, all seem to be working. So I'm quite happy with that. Anyway, I need to stop waffling and we need to do some flying. Quick look here. Yep, collective is all okay. So my controls, physical controls, all seem to be working well. Just do a quick check of another control. Yep, the overhead view is working fine as well. Right, so we've got a full tank of fuel to get us going, and I need to concentrate a moment while I remember, because I need to get the sequence set up correctly. So I'm going to, let's see if that works. That still works. So I'm going to go to missions first. No, wrong one. Should have gone to Specsavers. There we go. Maps and missions. Mission library. Random and anywhere. This is the latest version that I'm running. And we look down here, starting davierosoft Operation Center. And then once that is done, I'll need to stick the battery on, and then we can connect up the radio. Now, something I am going to do is we'll just reduce that down a little bit, just so we've got less flying time and more action time. There we go. Okay, single player. Boof. Right, so that's all good. That's as I was expecting. So now we can power up. We can get the battery on. And we'll get some lights on. Have a quick look down here. We can turn the radio on. Checking here, power up test. Power up test okay, so that's good. All this is fine. We're expecting that. So we'll acknowledge those. Where are they coming from? Where are the chaps? There's the chaps! Look at them striding out like the heroes they are. So these voices and that animation that you're seeing there with them coming out is all part of the it's all part of the random and anywhere. Quite important to say that. So there we go. Lads are getting on board. Excellent. No, all good, thank you, mate. Right, let's click that. You excited, mate? Yes. Do you know what? He doesn't normally look as excited as he does today. Okay, so radio is connected and that is all good and everything is looking fine there. So happy with that. So what we'll do is we will sit here and we'll wait for the call to come in. Obviously, normally, I guess realistically, we'd be sitting in a crew room somewhere, but this is how we do it here. Someone did once comment on a video that I wouldn't have survived in Vietnam because apparently you're meant to sit on the helipad with the engine running so that you can immediately take off when a call comes in. But that's kind of not what happens. Right, we got a person missing after avalanche on glacier. My God, the glaciers have returned to the Cairngorms. Right, so we're going to accept that. Oh, okay. I'm not getting... Okay, I think that might be the problem we've got here. It's saying, warning, be sure to be within 100 kilometers from closest high mountains with glaciers to this mission. We don't have glaciers. So I'm going to click next dispatch, which will get us to the next one. That sounds better. Error failed to retrieve location, increasing query range to... Okay, I think that was probably from before. Okay, no, I tell you, it's going to happen on a live stream. Injured have been reported on a cableway gondola fallen on ground. Well, we don't have those, so that's not going to work, so let's try another one. It's looking good. We've got no red. But it's not letting me accept it. I have no way of accepting it. This is sod's law, isn't it? Medical emergency. Ah, there we go. Accept. Go on. There we go. Now we're in. Now we're in. Slight relief there. I thought maybe we had one of those live stream type jinxes. Right, Milado, let's get outside and let's light the fires and all that good stuff. Oh, there we go. Floating bonanza. So off he goes. Okay, so we'll start engine one. Have a look at everything down here. M1 rising. Thank you, Frank. You're a good lad. Get the bacon butties in for when we come home. Okay, so we've got engine idle now. That's good. Lads in the back have done their thing. Start engine 2. So what have we got? At least one injured, waiting for info, medical emergency, waiting info about rescue vehicle presence. Right, so we got 2 good engines. Happy with that. So now we will pop up here. We will go avionics on, standby battery, DC receipt on, prime pumps off, transfer pumps on, LAVCS to pilot, pitot on. That's all good. Strobe on. Happy with that. Happy with all that. Okay. Right, quick look at the chat. Oh, what an... Oh, hello. Ah. Okay. I think that's come back now. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see anything. I'm getting error messages coming up on YouTube. I could see that the stream in OBS was locked at the map screen, and I saw on the chat that you guys have been talking about that, and pressed the stream key and nothing was happening, and all of a sudden I've got the stream key but I've got an error message in let's have a quick look here. Okay, can you guys just confirm that everything in the video is alright, because according to the YouTube studio, there's some kind of an issue. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buff. You certainly ain't going to experience buff in this stream, I can tell you that. Great. Okay. Cheers, everybody. Sorry about that. I don't know what on earth is going wrong, but I've still got an error in YouTube. Okay. Magic Norm. Sound is cutting. Sound is cutting. Okay. I'm just looking at everything in OBS, and OBS seems to be okay. But as I say, I've still got this strange message about buffering, and I don't know why, because my everything seems to be connected up in terms of me internets and all that. Okay, right, well let's get cracking. There's obviously something weird going on, but we'll have a look. Okay, so let's now first thing I've noticed is that the TDS aren't working, which they were the other day, so I'm just going to quickly check something. So that's on. Oh, I know what's going on there. Can't do anything about it at the moment, but, or can I? Bear with me. For some reason my TDS GTN-XI doesn't start automatically like it used to. So I have to manually start it. Let's have a look. There we go. So we've got one operating, but the other one isn't. That's fine, because we're not. Oh no, he's woken up now as well. We're not going to be using the GTN-XI.
System test okay.
Okay, that looks like it's locked up. We're not going to be using it because we're using the mission map, but that is absolutely fine. Select that, and actually no. I just remembered something. We select that as the nav. And then we are going to, that's still off, the pleasures of flying experimental flights. There we go, we'll get that off so it doesn't keep wigging out. Put that back on, that's still locked up. Engines to flight. There we go, get rid of that. So we're going to Newtonmore. Okay, let's have a look. Quick look at the chats. Okay, sound is good. Yes, it's build 500. Do you know what? I selected live weather, but this doesn't look like live weather to me. Let's have a look. Clear skies. No, we want live weather. There we go. There we go. Now we're in the Highlands. If you go to the high point, cool. Right. Okay. Let's go. Just checking that. Yeah. So my trim release is working. Newtonmore is pretty much on the doorstep, not far at all. Let's pick up some speed. Coming up to VY. Coming into wind, there's VY. Something else I'm interested to see is recent streams. The FPS has gone a bit funny at times with OBS running. So interested to see what happens here. I did some testing yesterday, not with OBS, and it was lovely and smooth. Over talking there. Me over talking and over talking the engine as well. I think someone said something about career mode. I'm not doing career mode yet. I must admit, it's with all the other things that need doing. I haven't set up, or I haven't looked at doing the, because you have to start at the bottom, don't you, and kind of work your way up. And I can't be bothered to do that at the moment. But I'm interested to take a look at it at some point. I must admit, this setup here for doing missions is absolutely fantastic. Just getting a few things. There we go.
Ambulance with no paramedic. Police. Confirmed on scene.
Okay, there we go. So very quickly, if you don't know how this random and anywhere works, it's simulating an incident. So that includes other pieces of equipment, so ambulances, fire engines, police, all that sort of thing. They have to travel to the scene as well. And hopefully we'll see them on the ground, and it's all kind of done in time. And also when we land on the ground, we'll have to give the crew time to do what they need to do. So again, I've no idea what it's like in career mode in Flight Sim, but you'll kind of see that when we land. The crew will jump out and do their thing. Just had a quick look at the chat. Yeah, if you
possible hospital destination for our patient. Info available on tablet.
If you want to find anything that we're using here, I put links down below. Coming over King Usi. Getting a little bit murky, a bit of rain. One thing that's a little bit disappointing is the windscreen wipers don't actually. You can flick them on, but they don't actually clear the raindrops. So hopefully that's something that's going to be coming down the road in the H145.
Two nautical miles from accident area.
noticed, excuse me, that I'm flying out of balance a little bit there, which is not good. Probably because of the wind. The wind isn't too bad, it's 11 knots. You can see from the hover instrument down below that we're flying forward, but also we're drifting to the left. Visibility is dropping. The other thing that doesn't work in 2024 is that we won't see any smoke flares, which in low vis like this will certainly add to the fun. But hopefully, if we've got emergency vehicles there, then that should help us. So down at the bottom, doctor on the scene. It seems there is one injured, and an ambulance.
Rear crew, we are approaching the landing site.
Okay, lost that. There is a screen you can go to look for updates, which we can have a look at. But I'm going to concentrate on flying at the moment. I do love the lighting in this sim. It definitely feels more realistic. Right, let's concentrate now. Reduce some speed, since I don't have great visibility of where the casualty is. It's going to be down there somewhere. See if we can see any emergency vehicles. Okay, I can see some blue lights, and that's one of the hazards of this, is that autogen sometimes gets in the way. So we've got a landing spot there. Let's have a look. I'm going to just close that now. We've now got a tailwind, so we'll need to turn around. You can actually see, I don't know if you can see, but there's that kind of ray trace, what am I talking about? Wireframe kind of effect. That's actually the smoke. So I'm just going to side over here, and we're going to try and put it down in that field, I think. That seems the safest option. Certainly walk her down into there anyway. Let's get some control back. One of the things that I'm still finding is getting the muscle memory with the new collective, and it's always at moments like this. Let's watch the trees getting blown a bit there. Just walk it in a little bit. It's always at moments like this where the hand suddenly does the wrong thing. Just get a little bit closer. And we're down. Okay. Right. Engines to idle. Open the panel.
Rear crew, prepare for ground operation.
So if we look at the medical diagnostic page, we get a better idea of what's going on. So we've got patient unknown, injured person in apartments, status upon medical arrival unknown, patient assigned emergency code 1. 1 is immediate risk of death, which is not great. The reason why we haven't got so much information at the moment is because we haven't got anyone on scene who is medically qualified to give us that information. But now we'll see that we'll get a bit more.
We need time for ground operations. Please stand by.
So we've got a bit more information here now. 30 years female, unconscious, medical emergency. That's fine. Close down. There we go. Ambulance Charlie 14 has reached the scene. Crews require further assistance. Police SB13A crew arrived on location. Symptoms: organ phosphate intoxication. Organ phosphate intoxication. Do we have a doctor in the house who can tell us what that is? I'll tell you what, it sounds nasty. It does sound nasty. So going back to the medical diagnostic page, that looks like it hasn't... Okay, no, that's updated now as well. That's good. So this is an ongoing situation, as we can see. Right, so let's have off, off, off. Get out of it. Off, off. Off. Off, off, off. Off, off. And then I must remember, before I do this next bit, this is a trick so you can keep the mission radio on. We'll put ground power to on, even though we don't have it. And we will switch battery off, and if I look down, yes, we're still connected. That's good. So what that is simulating is, obviously in the real world you'd be able to power down the helicopter completely and you'd still have a radio or possibly even a phone to talk to the dispatch and the other emergency services. So using this kind of fake ground power trick there is our way of kind of simulating that. Let's just jump outside and see what the chaps are doing. Let's get the right view. There we go. By the miracle, it sounds like there's a... sounds like we've got a lawnmower going on. Right, so these aren't our guys. These are the hospital crew or the ambulance crew. So I'm guessing that somewhere in that building might be his ambulance, or maybe he's doing something. But we just have to see now how it plays out. Our guys are... No, there's the ambulance. I wonder where our guys have gone. They disappeared. Oh, he's coming back with an empty... Is there anything in here? Oh, there we go. So there's our guy doing his thing. Oh. Oh. No, it's not sounding good. So he's loaded them into the basket, and he's got his pack on, and he's now going to probably... There we go. Our chap has come back. He's gone to get our trolley because it's of high quality and it's fit for purpose for flying in helicopters. And then he'll go and get the patient. Doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes the patient ends up going on the back of...
Patient life signs are fading.
This isn't good. The patient will go back on the ambulance. Sometimes our doctor will go back with the patient in the ambulance, and then we have to fly to the hospital to pick the patient up, the doctor up rather. But that's the beauty of it. That's why it's called random in any way, because you never know what's going to happen. Right, quick look at the chat. Robert H135. Don't know, mate. I had it in I had it in 2020 for model matching, but I've not tried it in this yet. But it might be worth a try. Jep, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Right, so we're going to accept the selection. There's the ambulance. He's heading off. No longer required, because we're going to go. We're going to go flying. I think what I will do. Well, the whole crew's gone. I think co-pilot must have gone off for a cigarette somewhere. Probably something to do with the fact that I've turned the battery off, I should think. Right, so what I'm going to do is get a few things going. So let's have the battery on. And we will get some lights on, because we're going to start whapping things around. Cool, steady on, fella. Getting a bit fresh. There we go. You'll notice, by the way, that the uniforms change. That's because the livery uniforms
Patient on board, take care.
don't work kind of outside of the immediate aircraft. You see, he's now changed back to the default when he comes around. Co-pilot does seem to have disappeared.
Cabin
So
secured, ready to fly.
it'd be interesting. Has anyone seen the co-pilot? I knew he looked a bit pissed off at the start, but anyway, right, quick look. Power up test okay, that's all good, so we'll acknowledge that. Let's see if he appears now. So I'm going to prime pumps on. We'll start with 2 first this time.
Preparing for engine, starting sequence 2-1.
This is very spooky. There he is! Welcome back, fella.
Area clear. Ready to start engine 2.
Sorry, guy, I've just seen your message about classical music. Right, engine 2. Let's concentrate. Let's try and be sort of professional. I've just thought something else as well. Something I forgot to do. Can I do it from here? No.
Engine started successfully. Moving to other engine. Engine clear.
I'm not ignoring you, Barry. I'm going to talk to you about your question in a second. Once we've got up. I'm doing something that hopefully isn't going to break everything.
All engines started successfully.
But I've noticed that the voice pack isn't connecting, or it doesn't feel like it's connecting. Kick us one, that is.
Hold on. Performing leak checks.
Yeah, TDS is not working there. Right, let's have a quick look up here. So now we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Prime pumps off. That's all on. Quick look down here. Do we have any warnings? No. Just got the engine idle warning. Co-pilot's done the leak checks, and he's happy with that.
Good.
Let's acknowledge that. And now go
TOS,
to flight.
system test OK.
That's good. Letting everything just come up. Happy with that. No warnings there. Okay, let's concentrate on not banging into any trees. And then what I'll do is, because I think we're probably going to Raigmore, then I can, let's have a look. And then I can stick it onto autopilot. Oh, let's just check something else. Yeah, that's what I need. Let's put that back on there. Seem to have forgotten that. Okay. Some froze up then, just for the hell of it. Let's get the mission map back open. Where's the wind? Visibility has gotten worse. I'm just going to take off into wind now.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
And that's what I switched off to start off with.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Passing VY.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. 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 Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Thank God for that. Yes, it's a hazard of flying in the mountains that you sometimes, especially in a helicopter, have terrain ahead. Right, let's just keep the climb in. Ooh, that was quite blustery. Almost fully white out there. Starting to see that ridge there, but we'll keep climbing. It'd be rather embarrassing to bang into the mountain. Not great weather for looking at scenery, so we might change the weather. After all, who really wants to watch a white screen? Okay, let's watch that. So I've just put the autopilot on. See, that's not working. Oh, well, it's working, but it's not taking the nav from the here. So let's just have another quick check. I have got MSFS set as the navigation source, but obviously that's something that isn't quite working, so that's fine. We can live with that. So let's increase the speed. Need to get this chap to hospital without any dawdling. Right, just checking the stream. Okay, my error message has gone from the stream now. I have no idea what that was about, but it was almost like you guys couldn't see anything, or it was buffering or something like that. Right. Okay, Barry. So Barry, sorry, I'm kind of catching up on the chat, and I'm not sure if I've understood everything that you were talking about. But were you talking about how to install all these add-ons into the flight sim? There we go. So we've got a heart rate now. We've got our oxygen level. Patient is still 1, which is immediate risk of death, which is not good. We've got a scale here of 0 to 100, and 1 meaning not much hope there. 100 meaning why are you wasting my time in this helicopter? And we've got a score of 28, so it's pretty low. Not good at all. Still not entirely sure why. So what would normally happen is that where we have FMS down here, it would be picking up the flight plan from random and anywhere, and then we could set it to nav mode, so we could follow the instead of being in heading mode, we could actually use flight mode. Usually the reason why that doesn't work is because of the navigation source not being set to MSFS. But in this case we've definitely got that, but it could just be one of those little 2024 things. Good God, do you know what I've just forgotten? We've got a new Discord. It's not like the Discord I had before. It's on a much smaller scale, and it's purely just to kind of support the channel, and also every now and again might chuck in a group flight and that sort of thing. But if you want to join the Discord, I've just posted the link up there. Right. Okay, Barry. So, forgive me if you've already done this, but I'm just trying to think out loud. If I was trying to troubleshoot it, the things I'd be looking for. So once you've got both of those in your community folder, obviously check that it's the right community folder, because sometimes I know before I had a default community location, and then I had my custom community location, and I remember once for some reason something had gone into, you know, the wrong one. But anyway, you've probably not done that, so you can probably ignore that. Just checking the wind. Wind is blowing us a little bit off course, so let's just change the heading. So all I'm doing is using the beep trim on the cyclic stick to just change the heading.
Watch out. Reduce collective now.
Okay, let's come back on the collective, come back on the speed.
Reduce collective now. Watch out. Reduce collective now. Watch out. Reduce collective now.
There we go. It's kind of a fine balance, and I'm trying to go as fast as we can, but for whatever reason then the probably because I'd initiated the turn, suddenly the autopilot had put in too much collective and we were starting to over torque, so I've just adjusted the speed down a little bit. Right, so sorry Barry, yeah, coming back to you. So okay, can you see the helicopter in the flight sim? Can you see at least the helicopter? Turn down the brightness on that panel a bit. Yeah, it's complete murk, isn't it? Definitely not sightseeing weather. I am going to change the weather for the next one, so at least we can see some scenery. But it's interesting to do. I mean, Christ, this is what the real guys have to do. They don't get to. They don't get the luxury of being able to change the weather. Sure if Barry's still there. There's a bit of a lag between me. Oh, okay, brilliant, Barry. Thanks for that. Yeah, there's a lag between me talking and the text coming up because there's like a delay on the stream. Okay, so that's good. You can see the helicopter. Brilliant. That means the helicopter's installed correctly. The other thing you need to make sure you've got is the Hype Operations Center, which is what I had just loaded up actually, and that reminded me. No, I'll do it for the next one. The Hype Operations Center is kind of what drives everything with the action pack, so you need to make sure you've got that installed, and you need to make sure that you just want the pack that I'm using now. So are we talking? You talking about the Random and Anywhere pack? So basically, your high performance group H145 and action pack are working. You just want this random and anywhere free pack. Yeah, we're definitely going to Raigmore. Okay, cool. So go to the link that is below, and you can download Random and Anywhere there, but also you need to have a good read through the description, the Random and Anywhere description, because there's some other packs that you need to have as well to make everything work. So make sure you've got all of those packs, make sure you've got obviously the Random and Anywhere, put them into your community folder, and then you need to, in the Hype Operations Center, you need to I'm just going to make sure I get the phraseology right. So you'll see an indexed missions. You need to update that. There's a little button next to it, update. You need to make sure that you update that. And then once you've done that, thinking about it now, yeah, once you've done that, everything should work tickety-boo. Shouldn't have any issues. Famous last words. So I'm just increasing the speed a little bit, but keeping an eye on the that we don't over talk again. Sparky, how are you doing, mate? Hope you've had a wonderful Christmas. Good to see you, fella. Hope all is good with you. Just watching the wind. Nice that we've come out of the cloud now. We can see that behind us. So this is going to be an interesting test, because this is one of the helipads that comes with the Epic Full pack, which I haven't tested. So it'll be interesting to see if that's displaying okay when we land on. It's nice to see some scenery finally. Definitely been quite murky. Now, trying to remember, how did I set up my controls? Did I set them up? Let's try that one. So no, it's not that one. It's not that one. Or is it that one? Yeah, okay. So I'm using the collective beep trim just to change the altitude, which you might be able to see. You see the green arrow moving down there, so I'm just changing that just so we can start losing some altitude now that we're out of the lumpy bumpy stuff. Just going to keep winding that down. Everything is good. I could have done with getting my, because we're running live weather, I could have done with putting the correct Q and H in instead of being on standard, but I'm sure we can live with that. We can turn the ground power switch off now. That was the thing we were just using to keep everything flowing. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, let's come back up. There we go. Just going to level out as we come over this slightly higher ground here. Cheers, Guy. Good to have you along, mate. Hope all is good with you. Hey, Centurion. Good to have you back, mate. Yeah, well, we've just flown in from Newtonmore. We had a casualty in Newtonmore, and we're just flying to Raigmore now. We've come out of the grotty weather. It was pretty murky for a while. Couldn't see a thing, but now it's doing all right. It's much better. Still watching that speed. Let's have a quick check of the patient condition. Must set up a button on this new setup for freezing the Head tracking. Oh, wrong button. So how are we doing? Life score's 28. Still, we've still got. Well, she ain't going to get better. I say that sometimes they can get better. Sometimes they'll suddenly tell you that you need to land because they need to do CPR. So again, this is what I mean by you never.
2 nautical miles from hospital.
You never quite know what it's going to throw at you. Right, let's. I'm going to take it off autopilot now. Coming in a little bit higher than I would want to. If I'm honest, because I was so busy waffling that after that last ridge should have carried on the descent, but that's what happened. So wind is there, that's absolutely fine. We can come over this way. You can just see if I get it. So Raigmore is in the centre of the screen now. You might be able to see the helipad. At this distance the helipad looks like it's working okay. So I'm going to hide the tablet to give us better visibility. A bit more forward speed. Keeping a nice descent.
Destination in sight. Medical crew is ready on landing spot.
So, quick check again of the wind. So, what I'm planning to do is fly beyond
500.
and then turn around so that we're heading into wind. Need to watch out for these. So we've got a pylon there. So yeah, the landing pad looks okay. You can see the windsock is up. Sometimes the windsock doesn't seem to match the actual wind in the sim, I've noticed at this location. So let's just keep that over there. Just taking it easy, not making any sudden moves. I want this to be as smooth as possible. Notice I said as smooth as possible. That's because it might not be smooth. This is not a tutorial if you haven't already realised that. Okay. Need to just come over this way a little bit. That windsock actually looks pretty accurate now. If I look at the display in the cockpit, if you look at under where the altitude is, you'll see a black circle with an arrow in it. That's the wind. We don't want to come in too low over the car parks and all that kind of thing, but we also don't want to be too high. This is where I hopefully make sure that my collective and muscle memory all works. A few stutters there, which does not help. And we're down.
Rear crew, prepare for ground operation.
Okay. Let's get the panel back. So what I'm going to do is because I don't think the voice pack is connected properly, I'm going to restart. We'll do one more mission. What's the time? Yeah, we'll do one more mission.
Helicopter in position. Rear crew, clear to start operation.
Okay, let's have a quick look outside. So let's bring it round here. And then what I'm going to do is lock it off. There we go. There we go. And then I can have a look over here. So we've got that. We've got that. So I'm just looking in my. I'm just looking in my Hyper Operations Center now to try and see that I've got everything that I'm expecting to have, because I was expecting the voices. Let's update. Okay, quick look over here. Quick, let's see. I have actually got the voices in here. Okay, voice pack. Yep, so that's in. Okay, I'm not sure why it's not picking it up. Updated that, so that's okay. Maybe it doesn't normally appear in that list. What's happening at the moment, by the way, is they are taking the casualty in, and my guys, I don't know where the hospital crew have gone, my guys are going in to do the paperwork, because again that's what would happen. So they're going off, they'll do the paperwork, they'll do the handover with the hospital crew, and meanwhile us pilots are sitting on the pad, and I've got a cup of tea here that's been sitting here for over an hour, so it's a little bit cold, but we can live with it. Bum, bum. Yeah, Sparky, you are lucky, because you and I are working a similar kind of field, and our mob are working. They were working yesterday. They're working Monday, Tuesday, and I'm on call as operations for just in case they need me. So I'm kind of off, but I'm kind of looking at the phone every now and again, unfortunately. Hey Centurion, yeah, the Virpil is beautiful. It really is very nice. It's the only thing I'm finding is that, and it'll come with practice, is that I'm just getting back into the cockpit, is that the muscle memory, every now and again at critical moments, I'll do something stupid, like I'll raise the collective lever when I want to go down. I have absolutely no idea why, and luckily it's not happening very much at the moment, so I think me and the collective are connecting on a deep level. That almost sounded very wrong, didn't it? Right, let's turn on track IR again. So I haven't done a complete shutdown, because my intention was to, we're going to press the skip paperwork button, and then I'm going to end the mission. Then I'm going to try and reload everything and see if I can get the voice pack working. Right, fuel is good. Happy with that. Let's have a look over here. Go on, chaps.
Cabin secure, ready to fly.
Well done, fellas. Right, so we will end mission. Okay, we will submit report. Because we've got to get paid, isn't it? There we go. Okay, just checking I don't get any other messages coming up. So we're going to pull out of there now. I'm going to refresh index, just for the hell of it. We'll go back into random and anywhere and select that. We've already got our radio connected, so that should be all good. Everyone's on board. Right, blah blah. We don't want to fly that far. That's all good. No, because we've reset it. I was going to say start location, so it took us back into the mountains, but yeah. I want to go back into the mountains. Let's go back into the mountains. So what I'm going to do now is use a custom location. And suddenly went very quiet there. Let's just find. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, let's go here. See what it gives us. Maybe we can do some hoisting. Accept. Bum, bum, bum. Single player. Okay. Let's see what it gives us. I have a feeling I've done something wrong there. I've got a feeling it's going to give us a random one. Custom mission. Set custom location. Okay, so it has got that. We will click on that. Accept destination. There we go. Right. Custom position. Select desired option. Let's have actual full scene. Why the hell not? Let's go full drama.
Cabin preparation. Please wait.
Okay, so we've got acute coronary thingy I saw there, which is obviously very serious. Right, you ready, fella? Let's have you out. So battery is on. I'm just double checking that. Yep, battery's on, and let's have those off. And
preparing for engine. Starting sequence 1-2.
So we've got an error message come up here. Undefined is not an object, so we'll see what happens. Sometimes that doesn't break it, but it's not something you
area clear, ready to start engine
necessarily want to see. So we're starting 1 first this time. The order in which you start the engines is set by the order in which you put the prime pumps on. So I tend to try and alternate them when I can remember. Yes, Centurion. Sorry, just catching up with the chat. I have experienced the escape key. Strangely, it doesn't always happen to. It doesn't always have the same effect every time. But yes, I have suddenly had floats deploying and all that sort of thing.
Engine started successfully. Moving to other engine. Engine clear.
It's good. Our volt's good.
All engines started successfully.
Generator 2's online, so that's all tickety-boo. Right, let's go back up here,
Hold on.
and
Performing leak checks.
that's all still on because we had it on before. LAVCS to pilot, pito's on, and we will now have prime pumps off, transfer pumps on, all our lights are still on, so that's all good. But what I will do now, just so that we can see some scenery, is put wind weather on. Let's have a few clouds.
Okay, all
There we
good.
go. Now hopefully we'll see some nice sights. Right, everything is good. Matey boy's back on board, full of the joys, so he is. Engines to flight. Everything is okay here. Now that's interesting. We've now got a, you can see the FMS, we've now got a destination. I also can see that we've now got a blue line instead of a white line. So although the mission worked before, there was obviously some sort of a disconnect going on. So now we can use the full hire mode with the autopilot. Right. Let's just check that's all good. Okay. Let's just. There we go. Head tracking is working. Wind is on the nose. So I'm going to take off. We'll do a right turn once we hit VY, and we'll get on our way. Watching out for those big pylons, of course. I thought it was a pylon. It's actually a. It's like a radio mast.
VTOS.
Still not going to get too close to it.
VY.
Yeah, it's a radio mast. So we have a Kirk down there. Interesting. I been flying the Huey a bit. Totally forgot to hold on the cyclic trim release then, which is why we were bumping around a bit, because I was fighting the helicopter. And it's funny, it's usually the other way. It's usually I'm in the Huey and I'm holding on to the cyclic release when it doesn't need it. Okay, quick look at everything. So we'll engage autopilot, check the heading. I'm now going to couple with the FMS, so we're now going to fly the route, make sure my feet are off the pedals, and clever little helicopter is flying itself. What I am going to do is down here I'm just going to use the beep trim on the collective just to increase our altitude so that we don't
Watch
go.
out. Reduce
Okay.
collective now.
Let's come back on that. Again, it's just finding that balance between essentially what I was asking the helicopter to do was to climb. See, that yellow band is the takeoff power, if you like, and you can only hold that on for about, I think it's about 30 minutes. If you when it's on autopilot, if you ask it to fly too fast and climb at a good rate, then it starts over talking because it's trying to do both, which isn't good for the engine. So I'm just increasing the altitude without overdoing everything. put in a little bit more speed. There we go, just finding that balance, as I say. Robert, no, do you know what? I haven't tried it yet. I actually cancelled my subscription, which expires today, funnily enough. And then I saw the announcement on social media about the mission, so I haven't done that. Yeah, I don't know what it's like. It looks kind of cool, but I don't know how it would work. I don't know if yeah, maybe you do actually, if you know. So does it assign you a mission, or is it just simply it will ATC, give you ATC guidance to a location as if you had a mission to do? So you won't actually see any assets like we saw here, but it will fly you somewhere and do all that sort of thing. Bind F1 key to throttle cut. It will reset the AP bug and slowly controls come back. I have got a throttle cut key bound to my on the Verpil. I'm not Centurion. I'm not sure what, because of the lag. I'm not sure what you were, what that was in relation to. Was that when it was over talking? Because all I did then was just reduce the rate that we were climbing and reduce the speed a little bit, just to bring it back into kilter. But I don't know if you're, I don't know if that's an answer to something else, or yeah. It's the police station mast in real life. Oh, that's good. That's good to know that it's all working. Have you seen Centurion, and anyone else actually? Have you seen Highland Cops on BBC? It's on BBC iPlayer. That seems to be there's a lot of Inverness. I don't know if it's purely based in Inverness. Wonder what that was for a moment. But they seem to fly out of there a lot. Oh, the escape key bug. Oh, okay. So if you press the escape key and the floats come out, if you press the throttle cut, the floats, do they disappear again? Because that's the only thing I've seen so far. I've only actually pressed the escape key on the ground, I must admit. So I've not seen that as an issue yet. Ah, okay. Increasing the speed a little bit. So yeah, now we can see the scenery. One thing I do love about 2024 is the ground detail is certainly really good. Certainly improved on 2020. And it's funny, I guess, because I'm not doing the career mode and all that kind of stuff, it works quite well for me. Just doing the simple kind of stuff that I'm doing and kind of using an external mission manager. It works, works quite well. Okay, no idea. I don't have. Okay, yeah. No, I've not tried it. The reason why I've uninstalled it is because I kind of, and it's been a while since I've used it, which is one reason why I've uninstalled it, because I'm not really getting my money's worth. It kind of felt like every time I flew a SID or a Star, the ATC was always seemed to override it. Now I know obviously ATC do override it from time to time. If there's a way that they can be a little bit more expeditious with you, then they might take you off route and give you a radar vector and all that sort of thing. So I totally understand that happens in real life, but this seemed to be happening every single time, and it just felt like it wasn't all fully connected. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to cancel the subscription and then when I get to a point where perhaps I'm going to use it a little bit more, perhaps by then, and also it's, you know, a little bit more integrated in 2024, maybe some of the things will be working a little bit better. But I know they've done quite a few updates, and also this major update recently. I was actually thinking of moving on to Beyond ATC. They've also had their own updates recently, and it seems to be quite a good proposition now. Although I'll be completely honest, I don't really know enough about them to you know, be any kind of to give certainly any advice on it. That's for sure. I'm actually looking for advice. If anyone has got experience of Beyond ATC and say Intentions, I'd love to know what you think. But it's certainly a lot more immersive doing IFR. For example, when I was flying the King Air, or when doing IMC in the Comanche, it's certainly a lot more immersive when you've got ATC running. Just keeping an eye on the terrain here. So we're 14.8 nautical miles away. The helicopter has the helm. How are we doing, chaps? We alright? Yeah, you good in the back? Yeah, you alright, mate? Yeah, you're always alright. It's you I'm a bit worried about. Yeah, still showing a lack of team spirit, although you're quite good at helping starting up. Yeah. I should say this is an 84 squadron. Let's have a look outside again. There we go. So it's an 84 squadron tribute repaint. 84 squadron are based at RAF Akrotiri, and they are flying. Is it Superhumas they're flying now? I think. So this aircraft doesn't exist in real life, but it's just a tribute. And it's by Panther Repaints, and it's certainly my favourite. And the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed that the registration in the cockpit is not what's on the aircraft. For some reason, custom registrations,
500.
certainly in this aircraft, don't seem to be working very well. So although I've got it set in the customization of the aircraft screen, it's displaying as something else. Orbital, how the devil are you? I hope all is good with you, mate. Ah, Romeo Kilo. Okay, so you've got the experimental version. Yeah, it's funny. I was watching a video the other day where they were showing a comparison of the free voices and the premium pack voices. And the free voices were actually pretty damn good. I think I could probably certainly live with them. But it'd be interesting to see how it works with, you know, how it works with procedures and SIDS and stars, and also something that I need to do a lot more of, which is VFR, ATC with VFR.
500.
The float plug is nothing, only graphical. The main bug with pressing escape key to look at was okay. When you go back into the cockpit, you lose control of the cyclic. Ouch! And power because the sim in pause mode assigns autopilot whilst in pause mode. Okay. So throttle cut will bring it all back to life. I'll have to remember that. Good to know, mate. Good to know. Thanks for that. So it's saying we're 6 minutes out. Let's have a quick check. So we've still not got any other assets on site. Waiting info about rescue vehicles' presence. Symptoms undefined because there's no one there yet. So at the moment the patient is still on their own in terms of any emergency services. Let's just watch that big bump. So we haven't got much more to go on there. If an ambulance was to arrive, then all of a sudden we get an update. That's what I love about it. It's kind of got that real-time thing about it. Sometimes you're the first on scene, sometimes you're not. Just coming over the top of Aviemore now. Okay, Sparky, thanks for confirming that. Centurion, you'll know this, because I definitely can't pronounce it. What is the name of the mountains
500.
on this side of Aviemore that we're just coming over? You've got the Cairngorms on the nose there, but this lot here, I can't remember the name of it, but I know you will. Centurion is lucky enough to live in this neck of the woods. I only get to come here camping, but it is certainly beautiful. So, closing in now, 7 nautical miles. So we're going to try and do a winch for this one. Okay, Robert, thank you. So IFR good, VFR. Yeah, the traffic injection is interesting. I tend to have AI traffic switched off purely because in 2020, especially when you're making videos, you'd always seem to end up with a Bonanza pirouetting on one wing on the apron somewhere or something like that. It never quite seemed to. The AI, certainly on the ground, certainly seemed to be something they never quite fixed, and also just from a performance point of view. Now, there could be a good reason why we haven't got an ambulance or anything else on site. It's because I deliberately chose an area where we're going to winch, so we are pretty much in the forest and in the foothills. No, Ben McDewey is kind of on the nose. This was, or is it? I think Ben McDewey is on the nose, isn't it? This was, begins with an M. It's some kind of, hang on a minute. Yeah, it's not on little nav map. Yeah, can't remember it. Begins with an M. Mon something. Or maybe I've misread the map. Okay, so we're coming up now on the target area. So again, we're not going to have any flares, so that's going to make things a little bit tricky. Just doing a few quick checks. I've got this in hover mode. That's all good. We've got the destination coming up. I'm now going to zoom in on this, just to give as much as we can. I've got the map over there so I can get my general bearings. We see the snow on the mountains. Do not get distracted by the scenery, Rob. You are here to save lives. God, I wish they got another pilot. Right, let's try this now. So I'm going to cyclic trim release on, disengage autopilot. Wind direction is coming from that side, so I'm going to fly over this way a bit. There's Lockmore Beach, if you know that. Just down there, very nice. On a good day, there's literally a beach on the loch. I've been there where it suddenly feels like you're in Brighton. There's so many people down on the beach. Right, let's see what we can see, which probably isn't going to be very much.
500.
And then I'm going to have to hope that my autopilot hover is all set up and working. wind is now coming from our right. Let's see if we're going to be able to see anything. Using the trying to use the tablet to orientate, but also the tablet kind of gets in the way a little bit. Let's see if we can see anything. Just inching it forward. Bit of a gust there. So we're not getting an option to hoist at the moment. I'd expect top right we get a... Oh, okay. Do you know what I've just noticed? We've got a bug. It says pre-flight operations, wait for rear clue clearance. Okay, so we've got a bug. It hasn't actually... Okay, how can I advance that on? Right, let me just... There we go. So we're now in hover mode. Right, this is going to be interesting. Hey Hans, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Right, okay, let's work the problem. Let's have a sip of tea, because you always have a sip of tea when you're working a problem. So this is the issue. You see at the bottom it says pre-flight operations, wait for rear clue clearance. So the mission is still stuck. I'm going to try, sometimes if you click the home button on the Garmin it does things. Try that one as well. That's not done anything. Ah, okay. So it's reset that, but we've still got that down at the bottom. Okay. Is there any way I can advance it? Oh, it says accident location may be invalid. Please check. That's a bit disappointing. Okay, let's see if we can do it this way. So, let's see if we can... So I'm saying I'm at the scene. So it sent the message to the dispatcher saying that we're at the scene. I'm just trying to see if there's a way that I can kind of bring it back to life, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to. I have a feeling that the mission is lost. So that hasn't worked. Thank God for autopilot, say. Unless there's anything else that I can do. I'm trying to avoid having to restart it all, but it's beginning to look a little bit like that's what I'm going to have to do. Could well be because I started with everything switched on. So I can't think of a way that we're going to get around this, but what I am going to do is, because this is a bit of a test flight, I'm going to close that. We're going to abort the mission. I wonder if that's what all this was about. Let's try something. We restart. Okay, so that's look good. I'm going to choose somewhere really close to us. There we go. Single plough. So I'm just waiting for a dispatch to come in now. We'll go to Norway sometime, definitely. I love Norway. Flying up there is beautiful. I have done a few HEMS bits and pieces up there, but it is Norway is fantastic, Mr. Telemark. The reason why we're pausing here is because we're just waiting for a dispatch to come in. Again, one of the things that it does kind of simulate is that it's going to, you know, we're waiting for the shout, we're waiting for the call. We should really be on the ground, but I want to see if we can get another mission in and do some hoisting. Oh, that's interesting. Right, let's turn track IR off, because I've just got a message on my monitor saying it's going to turn off, and we don't want that. Let's stay on. Turn head tracking back on. Reset it. There we go. Reported missing person during hiking. Search and rescue is required. That is exactly the kind of mission we wanted. So let's accept. Come on.
Cabin preparation. Please wait. Cabin preparation complete.
Okay, cabin preparation complete. So that's a good. At least one injured. Waiting for info. Reported missing person during hiking. Search and rescue is required. Waiting info about rescue present. Let's go to the map. So this is a search job. So we've got to look in the area. This is going to be interesting. Last known location is here. Let's get rid of the. So now we just got to do some looking. Right. How far out is it actually, out of interest? So it's just over there. So oh, it's on the other side. It's on the. It's see, it was prophetic when I was asking about what the mountain area is over there, because that's where we're now going. So we bid farewell to the Cairngorms and we head over yonder to them mountains that start with an M. Right, so checking the collective is at a good point and holding in the cyclic, or the cyclic trim release, and autopilot off. Initiate a gentle turn. Start picking up some speed into wind. Now we'll go and do some search and rescue. So for myself, just watching the power there. For myself, a lesson learnt there: double check. Don't assume. What's it called? Confirmation bias. That's it. Confirmation bias. Sometimes, like I did when we started that original flight from Raigmore, because the engine start and everything had gone okay, and the co-pilot had gone back into the aircraft, and it was tea and medals all round, I just took off. What I hadn't double checked is the message at the bottom about the guys in the back, and I hadn't listened out for them to say all checks were complete, and we had a bug. It had stopped at that point. Had I picked up at that point that we had a bug, I could have restarted, set up another mission, and then we would have been okay. So again, that's one of the great things about doing this, and I say that these aren't tutorials. I always learn something doing these, especially live streaming, because as I say, it's always when I'm live streaming that things tend to go a bit pear-shaped. So always good to check those things. Let's have a quick look outside. Beautiful. That's what it's about. Love this helicopter to bits. It goes in terms of fixed wing. It goes against everything I like. I don't like glass cockpit. Blah 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 blah. Old fart alert. But I love flying the H145 and flying the missions and doing all that good stuff. Let's couple up the autopilot now to the FMS. That's it! Centurion! Monolith. There you go. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Monolith. Gaelic is such a beautiful language. It's especially the names of places. There's something.
We will be first on scene.
We will be first on scene. There we go. It's something I should hope so, because we're doing the search and rescue, aren't we? Right. This is going to be very tricky because we've got all these damn trees. Trying to find anything in the trees is going to be difficult. So we'll have a look. I have a feeling, I seem to remember that the crew look out as well. So hopefully the crew will be able to spot something. So I'm going to take it off autopilot. We're going to head to the last known position. I'm going to slow us up. Again, it's all on autopilot at the moment. We'll go to the last known position, and then we'll just fly a kind of a loose search and rescue pattern. You can program a search and rescue pattern into the GTN, but I'm not going to do that because it's not that big an area. So we're entering the
500.
Entering the search zone now.
I set a possible hospital destination for our patient. Info available on tablet. We can confirm or change later.
Have a good look out. Keep your eyes open, boys. If anyone sees anything, shout. Alexis, hello. Hello from Canada. My control settings aren't really anything special. I don't think I've got, at the moment, I've not got any curves or anything like that set up. I'm pretty sure I haven't. We can have a quick look when we get on the ground, but yeah, I don't think I've got anything set up that's special. Whenever I've tried to play with curves with my hardware, it actually always seems to be kind of better just leaving it as it is. I feel like I've got a bit more control. So we're coming up to the last known position. Of course, the other thing with Flight Simulator 2024 is that you get some odd LOD things going on. So it could be that they'll just suddenly pop into view. Okay, let's off. Cyclic trim release is on and autopilot off. So I'm just going to have a better look at the last known. This is actually a nice mission to fly because it's interesting from the point of view you've actually got to look for something, but also from a flying point of view you have to. It gives you a lot of practice with low speed handling and all that sort of stuff. I'm not seeing anything. So we'll just come down a little bit more, and what I'm going to do is head over this way. Just try and almost like sweep it in segments, like flower petals. What's that?
500.
See, the other thing with 2024 now is because you get more detail on the ground and you get rocks and things, I might be seeing something that's just all part of the scenery. It's quite a wide search area as well. Yeah, that was just a rock. What's that down there? I've only done this mission type twice, and only once recently, and I seem to remember, certainly, look at the detail of that rock down there. This sim is just, for flying helicopters now, it's just such a lemon treat. I seem to remember that the crew called out when they sighted him, so I'm hoping that because I'm concentrating on flying, they're going to do the same. So, nothing seen so far. Watching the speed a little bit. Charles, hello, another Canadian. Welcome to the channel. Canada is somewhere that I love flying, but I've never been to in real life. But again, it's certainly up Squamish Way, Whistler. Great fun to be had flying up there. Eye tracking, I'm using the Grass Monkey King Puck with Open Tracker software. So it's basically a cheaper version of Track IR, but actually works really well and has got good resolution. But that's the King Puck on my headset. I've got it mounted instead of on the ear cup. I've got it mounted up there because with these headphones, it was interfering. The microphone boom was interfering with the head tracking. And it seems to work all right on a jaunty angle on the top of my noggin. Well, still no sight of this chap. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue the plan in terms of almost like flying a flower petal pattern, but I'm going to head straight over this way because I don't know at what range my crew might be able to spot him. But hopefully we'll see him soon. I guess that's the only drawback of doing a mission like this on a live stream, is that for a large part of it there's probably not a lot for you to look at apart from me searching for a missing person. Very much going to be relying on the crew, I think, especially when we get into the trees. And also hoping that the mission hasn't glitched, so that we're just flying aimlessly without any hope at all. But I don't think it will have glitched. It seems to be working really well, and it's just a case of locating where this guy is. So we'll just come back around now. Come over this way, and then we'll just do another petal of the flower. Albuquerque, hello, and then Fly, good to have you along. While I'm about it, actually, obviously really looking forward to the Flying Iron Warbirds, specifically the Spitfire, coming to this sim, and we'll be doing some group flights. I can't promise you that it's going to be a regular thing, but we'll definitely be doing some group flights. And just realised I've just come over too far to the right a bit, because I started thinking about the group flights. Yeah, we will be doing some group flights once in a while, and it is all going to be done through the new Discord. If someone wouldn't mind, because I'm a little bit busy, can you type !Discord into the chat, please? And I would be most grateful for your assistance. There is a new Discord. It's not the same as the old Discord. The old Discord was amazing. It grew into something quite incredible, with lots of people in there, and it actually became a lot bigger than something that I could really give my time to. It became more of like a general flight sim Discord rather than anything to do with the channel. So I had to give it up to focus on other things, with the intention of at some point starting up a new... Something's telling me to go over here. Maybe it's just the sun. Maybe not. Yeah, with the intention of just starting up another one that was very simple, and just to thank you, Romeo Kilo, just to support the channel and to do the occasional group flights. And thanks to Romeo Kilo, the link is now in the stream. So we are still not seeing anything in terms of our missing person. There is a way I could cheat. There is a way I can
500.
cheat, but I'm not going to. If I was to go onto the Hype Operations Center, there's a way you can view a map which will show you where all the assets are, but I don't really want to do that. We might do it if everyone absolutely gets bored out of their skull with me just flying around trying to find our missing person. Just in case we've got a good range with the crew, I'm going to... what I'll do is probably head more kind of westwards now and see if we can... if I head over there, see if we can get a spike. because there's every chance that our target is in the trees. So let's come this way now. Yeah, Alexis, you're absolutely right. Yeah, there's no smoke, just like a wireframe thing twirling in the air, which is kind of cool in a way. And I must admit, it's made me realise that it's something I would probably just turn off anyway, because it's not necessarily something you're going to get in the real world. Although I kind of wish that our missing hiker had to pop some smoke, just to make that a bit easier. Let's come over here. It is nice practice for low speed handling and wafting around though. Let's come over this way a bit.
I believe we found something. Check on tablet.
Okay, the crew's found something.
Yes, confirmed. We found our target.
Yes. Well done, crew. Well done, crew.
6 o'clock. $4
500.
3 o'clock.
Okay, now I've got to put us into hoist mode. So I'm going to... let's do that first. So I'm just going to put us into a hover.
We are 2 farmers.
Okay, we've got a...
Watch out. Reduce collective now.
We're not going to be able to get out of this.
12 o'clock.
Rear crew, prepare for
Okay.
ground operation.
Let's see if we can get it back again.
10 o'clock.
That's disappointing. Okay, we might have a problem here. There we go, we're in hover mode. So, okay, thank God for that, the red lights have gone on. I got us into a vortex ring state there because I was so focused on doing some other things and thinking of some other things that I wasn't watching my descent rate. So you saw we suddenly started dropping. I had to put on, I dipped the nose to try and get us out of the vortex ring state. We didn't hit the ground, which was good, but we did overdo the engines a little bit. But we've got no warnings, so that's a bit of a relief. That was very much a rookie error there. I shall be giving myself a very stern talking to. Right, let's watch the descent. So I need to put us into hoist mode. Sometimes you get a little thing that comes up here, but sometimes you have to cycle
3
the
o'clock.
hoist. Let's try. Is that going to give us an option?
4 o'clock.
Okay, let's try something else.
5 o'clock.
Hoist is that?
6 o'clock.
Sorry, bear with me. I'm just trying to think through how I can As always,
7
not
o'clock.
had this happen before, but okay, we've got hoist standby, so that should be okay. I'm trying to force it to go into hoist mode, so let's
8 o'clock.
has that done anything? Just need to trigger it. Let's have another look up here. That's not done anything.
9 o'clock.
Hoist is standby. Still
10
not,
o'clock.
still not giving us the option to hoist. So I haven't got control set up to manually hoist, but maybe that's what we're going to have to do. I'm just kind of hoping that I'll do something that will trigger it.
11 o'clock.
Let's have a quick look. How's it looking? So that's deployed.
12 o'clock.
That's lowering it, but we haven't got anyone on the hook, so that's no good.
It's in front of us.
Okay, I'm going to put it back onto automatic. We can try something else. Maybe it's a positioning thing. So, what we're going to do now is I'm just using the cyclic beat trim hat to, while we're in hover mode, we can hover autopilot mode, we can just use it to maneuver the helicopter ever so slightly. And I want to get us right overhead where the chap is, so I'm just going to move along this way. There we go. Actually, you know what, I'm going to fly us there. Be quicker, won't it? So, cycling on, and let's release. So he's just on the river there. I'm just trying to get to a point where it will trigger the crew call out to do the hoist operation. We should get a little button come on the top right of the screen of the tablet. Maybe if we just get right above him. Yeah, it's not going to give us the option. That's a shame. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is land. That's our only option. Fortunately. So he's down there. So if I land in that clearing. So let's just back it up a little bit.
We are reasonably close.
gust there. Descent rate like a hawk. Good God, is that, we've actually got purple heather. We've got purple heather. My lord, I hadn't seen that before. Incredible. Right. Well, sorry about that, folks. I was hoping we could do some hoisting, but something didn't quite work. Yeah, Alexis, I did wonder if it was altitude, but it still didn't come in. Normally, you'd get the blue thing coming up saying on the top right of the panel.
Helicopter in position. We're crew.
You would get a thing saying begin hoisting, or you might have to cycle the switch overhead. But we didn't get any of that. Right, I want to see where they go. See where this guy actually is. There they go. Look at that. There is purple heather in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I'm incredibly impressed. Ah, here we go. What's that? We've got a yellow... There he is. So we've got a yellow bag. And he's definitely not dressed for the environment. Very naughty. But that's the crew going over there to sort him out. But it is kind of cool that the crew help you out with that. You imagine if the crew weren't looking out as well. There's no way I would have spotted that easily anyway. Purple heather sounds like an ill girlfriend. I've not seen that in the sim before. I don't know if it's come in with an update or something like that, but that is impressive that they got purple heather in the right area. Although I'm not sure if this time of year it would still be purple. But I'm not complaining, because that looks pretty nice. So the guys are just dealing with him. We can jump back in the heli whopper. Stop burning the fuel. We've still got plenty of fuel on board. I would imagine from here it's going to take us back to Raigmore. There's the guys over there. Look at that, isn't it beautiful? Very nice indeed. Can't wait till the mod comes out where you can get rid of the moustache thing up there, and also parallel 42. I do miss flow. Flow is just so much nicer than the standard thing. Right, let's get the ground power cheat on, and I'll explain that if you didn't miss it, or if you didn't see it the first time around. Right, battery off. So we're no longer burning the battery. So yeah, if you weren't there the first time I did it, the ground power switch on in a situation like this is a cheat that gets around the fact that if I turn the battery off, which is what you would do if you were sitting on the ground waiting, you'd power everything down and turn the battery off. But you'd still have a connection to the emergency network through your phone or through a radio of some sort. So that ground power cheat there is just a way of kind of simulating that. And here we have the definition of hurry up and wait. So he's going to go around and get the stretcher. Isn't that beautiful though? I love the trees. I was using Rex AccuSeason before, but this is just the default trees, and it does look really nice. Along with the purple heather. Don't, for God's sake, don't do the accent. I'm not qualified to do it. Purple burglars. Is that the phrase? There was, I remember seeing something on social media about, was it people from Glasgow trying to say, it must have been purple, was it purple burglar? I'm not even going to try. Yeah, you are so right, Sparky. I absolutely miss flow. It's one of those things that becomes it just becomes part of you do take it for granted, just to, you know, the switch that I had on the mouse to bring it up and all that kind of stuff, and then to
another friendly. Good to have you with us.
To not have it. Hello, we have got a new subscriber and I missed it. Rick, I don't know if you're watching the stream, but if you are, thanks ever so much for subscribing. Much appreciated. This channel isn't monetized. It's all for fun, and certainly having people subscribe helps it to grow and all that good stuff. Don't worry, I'm not going to start doing a cheesy sales pitch. So the lads are coming back, pushing it through the heather. Well done, fellas. Well done. That's it. You keep it going. Look at that effortless confidence that they have. Don't you? There we go. Well done. Okay, so while they're doing all that, let's do some bits and bobs here. So we'll have power on. Leave the lights on. Seems we're going to start
Patient
whacking
on
things
board.
around.
Take care.
Ground power can now go in the off position. We've still got connection here, which is good. Hopefully things aren't going to go wrong at this stage. This GTN is definitely locked up.
Cabin
Right
secure.
inside.
Ready to fly.
Power up test is good. That's okay. Right, you ready to do your thing, mate? So I think we did we start with 1 last time or 2? I'm not sure. I think we started 2 last time, so let's go.
Preparing
1,
for engine.
2.
Starting sequence 1, 2.
Centurion, is there a mod out for 2024 already?
Area clear. Ready to start engine 1.
I had the one in 2020, but I didn't realise it was ready in 2024. But if that's the case, that's rather cool. That's good. Pressure's rising. Temperature is anyway. There we go.
Engine started successfully. Moving to other engine. Engine clear.
Pressurizing engine 2.
All engines started successfully.
Just waiting for that green start to go
Hold
to
on. Performing
idle.
leak
There
checks.
we go. So he's doing his leak checks. Let him do his leak checks. So, boom, 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 boom. Doobie-doo. They're all still on. Not worried about the landing lights. Prime pumps off. Transfer pumps on. Everything else is good. Quick look down. We've got any warning lights. We can turn the hoist to off now, actually, seeing as we didn't do that.
Okay, all good.
Have that back on, have that back on, and then while I remember, let's turn the TAWS off once it's done its test.
TAWS system test OK.
Get rid of that, because that's going to be going off all the bleeding time. Right, that's a good, that's a good. Happy with that. Have them on. Engines to, did that, yeah. Engines to flight. Check over here. That's all good. What have we got over here? Hospital, reach selected destination. Okay, so that's good. A little bit concerned that we haven't got anything in here. Would like to see something in there, so there's obviously still some kind of disconnect, so let's do that. Sometimes clicking the home button on the GTN can get everything back where we want it again. There we go, so that's okay, that's cool, that's worked. Happy with that. Let's go in here. We want MSFS as our nav source. Okay, so obstacles, heather, trees, mountains. What could go wrong? So cyclic release on. Turn her into wind.
VTOS. V1.
Go. Okay, and engage the autopilot. Couple. There we go. and that's all good. I used to hand fly all the time, and then I actually had some people and also some real world pilots saying that realistically they'd be, you know, like at this point, letting the autopilot fly it, which kind of goes against what I like to do in fixed wing, but I guess it kind of makes sense in an aircraft like this. But certainly initially I used to hand fly it all the time because it's the only way you really get to know the helicopter. Let's have a pop outside. Where's she gone? There she is. Just a beautiful repaint, isn't it? Definitely my favourite. Might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I love it. I'll put a link to it down below, by the way, if you want to get hold of it. It's not been updated for a while, but it seems to work okay, from what I can see. Just out of interest, people are in the chat. How many of you are still running 2020 alongside 2024? Or let me rephrase it. How many of you are only running 2024? That's the A9 over there. It's just climb a little bit, not too much. Don't want to wig out the torque again. Yeah, so we're definitely going to Raigmore again. It's actually a really nice area to, apart from the scenery, but it's a nice area to practice in because you've got a mixture of, you've got mountains, you've got flat areas, you've got the sea, you've got a city with Inverness, so there's plenty of opportunity for different kinds of missions. Okay, so there's still a lot of people doing 20. We're still using 20. Oh, hardware issues, Sparky. What controller have you got that's not working with it? Yeah, I've still got 20 for Warbirds.
500.
But kind of hoping that Flying Iron release the 24 version of the Spit fairly soon. I was talking about group flights before. I will chalk up a group flight at some point, and the intention at this stage is to do a Warbird flight, so it might, and that's the reason why I'm asking really, it might end up being in 2020 rather than 24. That is the thinking. Oh, steady on, steady on.
Watch out.
Yeah.
Reduce collective now.
I was just trying to give it some more beans, but went a bit too far. Scenery is just gorgeous. okay, Sparky. Yeah, I think I've heard of that. Do you know what, Robert? I've got to admit, I don't, because I don't fly tube liners. I don't PMDG isn't something I know a huge amount about. I did get the DC-6, but never really did anything with it, which is criminal because it looks gorgeous, and the way the engines and everything is simulated, I have no excuse really. But yeah, the tube liners I don't do, so I don't know a huge amount about what's going on with that. It would appear, and again, I don't know a damn thing about tube liners, but you almost get the impression that the likes of any builds are kind of at the forefront of the tube liner thing at the moment. Trying not to repeat what I did beforehand, so we'll just come over this higher ground here and then continue the descent. So I was just laughing, I just saw Romeo Kilo's comment, yeah, give it some beans.
2 nautical miles to hospital.
Okay. So, wind hasn't really changed, still where it was before. Reduce speed to 80 knots. So we'll do a quick recce and then we'll come back round and then land into wind. Helipad. Right, so
Rear crew, we are approaching the landing site.
Disconnect the autopilot now, so cyclic trim release is in. There's the helipad. There's the wind. Mast. This
500.
This is when it's really nice having the collective, the physical collective. It adds to the immersion, but it certainly feels like it increases the amount of control that you've got, which is rather nice. So just coming over this way a bit more. Try not to get too low at this point so that the downwash starts blowing people's washing off their lines and all that kind of stuff. Shouldn't really joke, there was actually a case in the UK recently of an elderly lady who was sadly passed away because she was the helicopter flew overhead, landing at a hospital helipad, and the downwash blew her over. Okay, so we see the ground crew there. I'm going to close the tablet. Continuing the descent. Don't want to get too low over the car park. Centered. This is the exact situation I don't want to be in when when it's not a smooth descent to being centered and you start maneuvering like this. This is when it's very easy to kind of lose bearings. There we go, we're down. Right, collective bottomed. Engines to idle. Tea and medals deployed. Come on then, lads, come and get him. It's his fault for getting lost. Right, quickly catch up on the chat. Inbuilds and Phoenix. Go-tos for Airbus. Oh, okay, I understand now. Hi, do you know why when I put the IS autopilot on the tablet it doesn't go above 110 knots
Helicopter in
even
position.
less?
Rear crew, clear to start operation.
I don't know, Danny, is the honest answer. I can set my IAS to go. Oi! Be careful. I can set the IAS to go above 100, but especially where the helicopter is quite heavy. We started off with 100% fuel. We've still got.
Patient has been deployed to the hospital.
We've still got a fair amount of fuel left, and what with the crew and the casualty. Listen, mate, you are taking the mick now, boy. Enough of that. Walking through my car. Gee. Setting a bad example, sunshine. Yeah, if you overdo it, then things can go wrong. But it should certainly allow you to set it beyond, actually beyond the, 100 knot mark, or 110 knots. Robert, I suppose you need to be only retentive for checklists and VATSIM to enjoy tubes if you like low and slow. Robert, I like the compromise, mate. There is no way that I could ever fly tube liners. There is no way that I could do all the planning and all the messing about and then spend 3 or 4 hours flying somewhere. But what I love doing is, or did in 2020, is jumping in the Black Square King Air and doing an IFR, using Navigraph, using SimBrief, doing a full IMC flight with Say Intentions, or before that I was using Pilot, what the hell is it called, Pilot to ATC, and yeah, doing the whole thing, and for an hour and a half flight, that was great. I really enjoyed it. It was good fun, but yeah, flying tube liners isn't something that I really want to do, and I know it's my loss because there's so much in it. The only time I like to go anywhere near tube liners is in the real world when I'm going on holiday. Okay, that's all good. Transfer pumps we can have off. Leave the strobe on for the time being. Well, we've still got that going on. We can have the avionics off. Standby battery off. DC reset off. And we'll have them off. And we'll have you off. And now we've stopped doing the rotors, we can have the strobe off. And now we can... oh, hang on a minute. Hang on. Let's get you back. We'll skip the paperwork. There he is. If you joined after it happened last time, it will simulate the crew going into the hospital with the patient and the hospital staff, and then doing the paperwork and then coming back out again. So, which is great if you want to run and have a cup of tea,
Cabin secure, ready to fly.
but not great if you're doing a stream. It's not really a spectator sport. So I've opted to do that. I'm going to opt to submit the report. Submit. And that's all good over there. Excellent. Well, Romeo Kilo, you remark using that. Yes, using for me using Navigraph and Say Intentions AI and doing it in the King Air made me feel like I was kind of doing a bit of grown-up flying. But anyone who's seen some of my streams, where I tell you what I love about it, and I'm going to end the stream, but what I love about it is flying warbirds is pure adrenaline fun, and appreciating the beauty of the warbirds and the skill of being able to land a tail dragger and all that kind of stuff. Flying the helicopter is a special type of almost like meditation, because you have to focus, especially in things like the Huey or the 500E or the Llama. You have to focus so much on just flying and balancing the collective and the cyclic and all those other things, and it's so easy, like we saw before getting into vortex ring state, it's so easy to come out of the zone and do something stupid. So for me, flying helicopters is meditation. Flying IMC, IFR routing, using the whole Navigraph thing, using Say Intentions AI, and especially streaming it, is adding thing onto thing. So it's a good way of kind of stress testing your flying. And also for me, I do it every now and again, and you may have seen some of the streams or the videos. I do it every now and again just to stress test myself, just to expose my weaknesses, because I'm pushing myself beyond what I'm capable of at that particular time, because it's something I don't do often enough. But it's always interesting when I do, because you certainly find your weak spots, which is kind of cool. So even if you're not into flying tube liners, it's great fun to do it sometimes in a little turboprop, something like that. Anyway, let's turn the battery out before we waste any more juice. So yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure having you along. I apologise for the odd thing that happened at the beginning where it got stuck on the map screen, and I was getting all sorts of error messages about YouTube not getting enough data and all that sort of thing. It seems that you were getting plenty of data, you were just stuck on the map screen. But anyway, that got sorted out. I've seen a few funny little things happening, for example, not being able to hoist, so that's something that I can look into. But thank you for sticking with it. It's been an absolute pleasure having you along, and I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.